So, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks again for being with us here. Um, and thank you for connecting. I know it's late, but um, um, although I say the my classes are our classes in the Ag Econ department are kind of like the most boring. Like a lot of people find it the most boring, but are the one of the important ones because um it has to deal with the business side and how to estimate profits and all the things that go behind the managing a business. It's not just producing in the farm. It's basically you know um solving issues and produce as a lower cost and try to sell at higher prices. So, and most people find this boring, but it is, as we say, a necessary evil. So today I'm gonna do the second part of the business plan development. Um, so all I have uploaded both presentations, Mondays and Tuesdays, and the website, and I'll share the link with you guys. It is actually this one. Uh, um, so yeah, it's this one. It's the one that has it says on the menu on the top, it says English, US Virgin Island, and I'm placing all the presentations there, and the videos will be uploaded there. So, my student haven't said anything about the videos. I don't know. I believe she uploaded it, but I don't know in which account. So, uh, I just text her, and as soon as she gives me an answer, I'll let you guys know. If not, Glenda will send you an email with the links and the information about the videos. So today we're going to continue the business plan development. Um, and this presentation is based on a publication Dr. Mirna Comas, Dr. Gladys Gonzalez, and I developed. I mean, as recent as I don't know. I think I posted it in May or April this year. For us, that's a new a new, it's new. It's last semester's publication. So, um, on Monday, I explained why it is important to do a business plan. A business plan is a document, as I said, and it presents the business policies, procedures, and results of a business, including, that includes agribusinesses because farming and agribusinesses are also businesses. And as many people say, the the king of or the queen of businesses is agriculture because um, being an agricultural producer implies you assume lots of risks. So the riskiest business is, agribusiness and farming. Um, so the business plan is essential for the development of a new business, especially for new businesses. Uh, it's also a document that many financial institutions and investors want. So, who should write a business plan? Basically, everybody who has a business or an agribusiness. So, new, not just the new businesses, but existing businesses. If you don't have a business plan, I mean, you have to start writing a business plan because you never know when you're gonna need it. I remember for the last storm that went through Puerto Rico, it was last year or 2 years ago. There's so many, I don't remember the name. Um, so anyways, well, the name will come up shortly. So the government was given an incentive to um businesses, including farmers that had losses during the storm, and they asked for a lot of government paperwork, and um they asked for parts of the business plan to upload it into the application. So you never know when you're gonna need it, because most subsidies and incentives, especially from the government, even USDA, ask for a business plan. If you want a grant, you have to have a business plan, because they're probably gonna ask many parts from the business plan. And it's basically when they ask those parts, you just copy and paste, and you don't need more to develop a brand new business plan. So before writing a business plan, you also have to develop a feasibility study. You have to make sure producing the goods you're going to produce are feasible. I mean, you're going to get profits from producing that, or having that business. So if you want to own a successful business, um, you have to develop a business plan, because this business plan will help you take your business that you have in your mind, uh and make that idea and put it into action. So it helps you shape the idea, especially those ideas for existing companies that want to start a new venture or new uh, businesses as well. So when you write a business plan, you don't only have to write it once. It is a document that you have to update continuously. In farming, you have to continue updating it, because you can start producing bananas, but if you see the market is not good for bananas anymore, you move to the production of, let's say, cassava. So, and if your business plan, you have bananas and you move to cassava, you have to make sure you update that information in your business plan. So remember, business plan is like um, the functions of a good administrator is planning, and the business plan basically is includes most of your planning in there. Um, as I said, the business of agriculture is the riskiest business. Um, and that business plan has to have plans in case of setbacks and emergencies. So, I was saying, I think on Monday, you have to write in the business plan the setbacks, and in case of emergency, what you can do, because you have to train your employees to know, about the business plan. So if you're not, let's say you're on vacation and you're not around, uh, what do they have to do in case of an emergency? And if you have that written down in the business plan, obviously that comes with a little bit of um, education also on your behalf. um, it will help your business continue, and your employees possibly do not have to um, bother you during your vacations. Um, so part of the risk management, you have to deal with all the types of risks there are for ag business. production risk, marketing risk, finance, and legal and human resources risks. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to say that that should be included also in the business plan, how you manage all those risks. Okay, so on Monday I have discussed the parts of business plan. I went from the cover page to business management. So, and today we're gonna finish with this presentation. Um, so Leslie Maduro has technical problem. If she can log in with somebody, that should be fine. And if she can log in later, we won't take that into account as long as she logs in and stay. Even us had technical issues by getting in, so no worries about that. Um, so I should have started with this because we always have announced, like, if for some reason I lose power, you lose power, there's no internet, something goes on, we're gonna try to log in again. If not, if we cannot log in, we can reschedule. We're gonna reschedule the training to finish it also. Um so we understand because we have had a lot of issues here. So we understand if you have technical issues, you can just log in whenever. We don't take that for granted here. Um, so to continue with the presentation, um, today I'm gonna continue with the two other parts for business plan, well, three, because supporting documents, it includes a big chunk of your business plan is the supporting documents. But right now I'm gonna talk about the marketing plan. Um, this is a short version of marketing plan. I try to do it as short as I can, to manage timing. But like business plan and the development of a market study, let's just say this. A market study is one thing, and the marketing plan is another thing. You know, but I try to cover like as quickly as I can. How can you write a small business marketing plan? Because the marketing plan is part of the business plan. So the marketing plan basically want to take into account who are my competitors, who do I compete with, evaluate the market. I have to know, um, evaluate the market, where to compete, or are we interested in entering in that market? So you have to make an evaluation, from the competitors, like the what the consumer wants, location. You also have to take into account the market size. Is there enough people in that market for you to incur in that business idea? How many consumers there are, how many customers you're gonna have. This makes it, you have to know, as I always teach, even though you can sell your product to a customer, it can be a retailer, a wholesaler, a distributor. Um, you have to know who is the final consumer of that product, because you you're not you might not be selling directly to them, but you have to know the consumer profile um, for your product. Um, Part of the marketing plan, you have to have some sales strategies. There's many sales strategies. You probably know all of them because we are all consumers, but I'll try to give you some ideas later on. Who is in charge of the distribution? Am I gonna be in charge of the distribution? Should I pay somebody, or should I just sell it to a distributor and let them deal with that? I mean, it depends of what you want, your and what can you afford also. I mean, you probably want to distribute it, but you might not have the equipment to do so. Um, So, what is the level of concentration and market dominance? Like, who dominates in the market? What's my pricing strategy to compete in the market? How do I determine my selling price? As I said previously 2 weeks ago, I taught you how to estimate the break-even price, or the price that um where you cover, like, the price you have to sell to cover all your costs. And it is important you know that number, because from there you're gonna know if you're gonna have profits. So um you have to know also your profit margin, uh competition price. You have to know, you have to study what is the competition price. um you have to decide if you're selling at a lower price or a higher price or the same price. If you sell at a lower price, you're probably saying consumers your product is lower quality. And if you're selling higher, you have to tell the consumer, why are you selling higher if it's the same product? Usually in agriculture, uh products are homogeneous, like there's homogeneity in the products. They're the same product. How can you differentiate a plantain from one farm to another farm? you know so there are strategies where you can use to differentiate your product from everybody else's. So in the marketing plan, you have to describe the product that you produce, or all the products you produce, and then you produce them. If your product is USDA organic, make sure you have the certification for it. If not, and you use organic practices, make sure you point out somewhere that, in your, possibly in your packaging on the boxes, that you use um organic practices, or you produce agroecologically. Also, if you're gonna produce in a sustainable way, also make sure um you mention that either in the logo of your company, in the packaging, in the boxes you sell. I mean, you have to describe the product and all the makes that product different from everybody else's. How competitors produce the product. So let's say you produce organic product versus everybody else do not produce organically. So that gives you some advantage, especially in pricing. Also, if you use non-GMO seeds as well, I mean, there you can pay to use um the logo of the non-GMO. Also, well, provide proof that you use non-GMO seeds and for your products to grow. The consumer is the most important thing you have to um think about, because there's no way you can sell products if the consumers do not want it. I mean, there's strategies in marketing. If the consumer do not need it, you can basically, I don't like to say the words manipulate, but that's what marketing does. It's a little bit of manipulation of people, and you make them think they need the product so they can buy it. So, um, but you have to take into account that what consumers want. Sales, I mean, there's a lot of products that are produced by season. Make sure you know that and your consumers know that. You have to know imports, imported products versus local. Here, everybody in Puerto Rico, all the farmers are like, yeah, my product's fresher. Oh, I know that, but how much fresher? So you have to make sure you teach consumers that your product has a higher price because it's fresher, and they're gonna taste it when they um cook your ag products. Um, what are my objectives towards the market? What interests me about the market, and how do I penetrate what strategies for penetration do I use? Uh, Especially to go into that market and compete with other producers. Um, I just want to state before I continue that farmers, like local farmers, are not your competition. I mean, no, your neighbor farmer is not your competition. Your competition is everybody else's, because you two probably have um um the same product, but you're not competing. You can find markets for both of you. Uh, Especially in the islands here, like we don't produce as much either. I'm assuming the same is in the US Virgin Islands. So there's not much production, but I mean your neighbors farmers are not competition. Also, for the marketing plan, you have to write a SWOT analysis. And the SWOT analysis is carried out to compare your company versus the competition. It provides information uh to the entrepreneur that points all the points that need to be improved. SWOT analysis is an analysis that we make on our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Sometimes a weakness can be developed later on as an opportunity. So, when you write your SWOT analysis, maybe you have a weakness, but if you work through that weakness, it can be an opportunity later on. So basically, a SWOT analysis, you can make it, there's many shapes you can make the SWOT analysis. A table is one of them. And you can use this table, like, the strengths, and you put your company strengths and the competition, weaknesses, market opportunities, and threats. Um, but you have to think when you do the SWOT analysis, you have to be very, very objective. So in the strengths, so you want to describe the company's strengths, and regarding how are your prices compared with the competition? Are they higher, lower, the same? What is the company's philosophy? Is my philosophy better than the other company? So is my philosophy, so that I want everybody to eat um fresh food and organically produced. And I mean, that can be a strength. uh Production processes and the production yields. So basically, the process I produce, do I use good agricultural practices for my product versus the other people, they don't use it? Do I have any other certification? There's the certification that um I'll say everybody has to have now is FISMA certification and for handling food um resources the company has. uh what are my resources? What equipment do I have? Do I have machinery? Compare, this is always compared to your competitors. So do I have more machinery versus the others do not have it? Opportunity services I give to the my customers. It can be delivery service, it can be like a discounts when you buy in bulk. I mean, you have to have a detail, describe it in detail. New necessarily products, changes in income, if reductions are expected, how can I compete? So basically, let's say there are changes in income in your location where you sell your product, like um will you be able to compete and stay in that market? Will you help the consumers, when because they lower their income? Will you be able to um market trends, take advantage of the opportunity? Um, Basically, I like to use the motto, the first ones are the ones who always have the profit, and then the followers, they might have a little bit of profit, but the first ones are always the ones with the higher profits. So if there's a market trend and you can go in because the first ones are the one who actually get profits. I mean, if you can, because it's not the same for agriculture, you cannot react as quickly as, other industries. Um, technical, technological opportunities, ecological opportunities. Um, NRCS have incentives. Like if you have in your farm and you preserve an area, I don't know if they have it or they're gonna get rid of that program, but they used to have a program that if you leave like a space, a designated space in your farm with trees to attract pollinators, that will give you an incentive. So, and that's part of the ecological, um, part of the farm. Opportunities in production costs and pricing. There might be some opportunity. Um, Continuing with strengths. How do I operate? The financial resources I have, my workforce and administration. Do I have the best employees? That's a good question. That can be a strength. Do I have people with knowledge in agriculture? Do I have uh maybe I don't I have an agronomist um in in my farm working for me. Services I give, deliveries, packaging. Packaging, well, I can talk a lot about packaging because the thing is that packaging and shelf life kind of goes hand on hand. But marketing wise, packaging is everything. And in agriculture, shelf life, it's everything. So you combine those two. If you can use a package that will extend the shelf life of your product, you know, that's a strength. So because for marketing, that can be a selling point for consumers. Um, in opportunities, also services. Um, I think I have those before. Market trends, technological, it's the same. I might have made a mistake there. So, with weaknesses, what areas do I need to improve? So, areas, I mean, I can produce the best quality product there is, but I might have difficulties selling it or marketing it. So you have to basically say, what am I good at or am I bad at? You have to be very specific about it. And those weaknesses you can improve later on. Basically, if I'm bad at management, there's two options. You either hire somebody who will help you and has a lot of knowledge, or you can educate yourself. This is what we're doing. You're educating yourself on how to manage a farm or a business. So, you have to basically state your weaknesses compared to other companies. Uh, do I need resources, financial, economic? What's my profitability, my size? Um, in terms of management, do I keep records? Do I know my costs? Um, do I know my profits? You have to know. I mean, if you don't know it, then it's a weakness you have. Threats, there's many threats in the ag business, economic and financial situation. Um, and we talked a little bit last Monday about when you did the pestle analysis. So um you have to write write about um the pestle analysis is like the uh politics, if there's changes in politics and economics, technology, regulations and laws, etc. Public policy, threats, taxes. So there's a new tax law that I have to possibly pay higher taxes. So that's a threat. There's a new regulation that I have to have this certificate, a specific certificate by the end of the year. So it's a threat, but I mean, you can deal with it. There's things you can deal as a threat. Demographic changes. So how are the changes in age, um, in the population, age of the population, income of the population, households changes. So all those things you need to know. Education level of the people, is it on the rise or is it on the it's reducing the level of education? Um, Changes in consumer income and purchasing. That's very important. So with recessions, obviously, if there's a recession, which is an economic, there's changes in consumer income and purchasing, because possibly people want to hold off in their purchases. And you need to be ready for that. And that can be threats. Um, laws and regulations, reforms, fiscal plans. Um, new laws can affect our business. The competition, it can be a threat. Uh, um, so let's say imports are on the rise, and there's coming in as cheaper, having cheaper prices than what we can sell. Um, if that is happening, you need to work on your marketing plan and differentiate your product from the one that's being imported that it has a lower cost. So you have to work on that. Lack of skilled employees. There's this one here in Puerto Rico. Um, it's actually uh occurring a lot. A lot of farmers are complaining that they don't have like people with the skills to work on the farms. On the SWOT analysis, um, just a few ideas of what you can write and questions you can answer. So one of them is my product new, innovative, unique, different from the other companies. Distribution, delivery, storage, shelf life, product handling. How do it compares with the competition? Promotions strategies and which ones do I use? And we're gonna deal with that later on. Competitive pricing. So if you ask for a higher price, um, you have to make sure your product is better than the others. So there's nothing wrong with charging higher prices as you as long as you can um make sure your product is better than the rest. So if it's the same and you're having charging a higher price, you have to make a slight difference between yours and theirs. So to help us sell it at a higher price. So organic production, I use organic production versus people who don't. If I use organic production compared to the rest, um, that means I can sell at higher prices. Or I use organic practices. I use organic seeds and I use non-GMO seeds to of the products I use are non-GMO. Um, can it be prepared? If it's organic, can it be prepared, processed, packaged differently from the rest? And um, can I export? Are my competitors exporting the goods to other countries or states? Um, location, where I produce versus where I sell. Um, so I know we're in islands and and the distances are not that far, but I mean, if you're near the market, your cost of distributing is lower. If you're relatively far away from your market, your transportation will be on the rise. So make sure you write that in the SWOT analysis compared with your, other businesses. Remember, you have to compare yours with the rest of the businesses. Do I keep records? Do I have an inventory? Do I have a my accounting records, balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement? Do I know my liquidity and solvency and other financial ratios? Do I know them? If I don't know them, that's a weakness. Um, compliance with government tax payments and other commitments. So that can be a strength or it could be a weakness, depending which side you're on. Financial ability, do I have credit? Can I get credit easily? Or is it difficult for me to get credit? So that's a weakness if it's difficult. Do I know my cost? A variety breed that I produce is different from everybody else's. Maybe you produce cassava, but what if you have a variety that nobody else produces? And that variety can give you more pounds per acre than the rest. So you have an advantage there because basically you're producing more product in a less in a smaller space. Thus, your costs are lower. Or possibly your costs are lower. My facilities, I should say it's building facilities sounds it's and in Spanish, it should be buildings, it should not be facilities and infrastructure. Brand, do I have a brand? Do I have a slogan? Do I have a logo? Do I have a name for my business? Um, so even if you have a farm, uh, have a name for your farm or a name for your company. Have a brand, have a slogan, have a logo. Um, Market research and evaluation, and this is tougher than it seems, but I'll tell you just a few things because this can be like a 3 hour class only, at least. You know, Marketing strategies. I'm gonna talk about them. The marketing mix. Uh, Quality of my product. Is it better than the rest? Is it the same? Um, Quality of the inputs that I use. Are they better? Are they worse? Are they the same? So so basically you have to say in your marketing plan that you want to sell, but you want to sell how much? If you want to increase your production by how much? Um, do I want to dominate the market? Do I have economies in size? So basically, as you grow, your unit cost will decrease. Um, Market segmentation, potential consumer profile, geography, where are they located, demographics, age, gender, race, ethnicity, household income, behavior. Um, I don't know there in the US Virgin Islands, but here, um, like people see something pricey, um, they assume is very good. So, and here the behavior is, I should go for the pricier stuff instead of the lower cost stuff. So it's kind of like a trend and the behavior. It depends on the goods. But in food, a lot of like one of the best things in life is eating. So, people like good food. So basically, as you can provide them good food and fresher, I mean, their behavior gradually can change if you keep, saying, oh, yes, it's fresher, it's better, it tastes better. So you have to make sure you combine your resources with other farmers and make sure to um, tell customers our products are better if they taste better. So you can start changing their behavior towards your products. Um, what do consumers want? How much do they want to use? Is my product what the consumer wants? If not, what are my strategies to sell the product. So basically, I come up with a package and using the demographics. So let's say the household income, or let's say this household size in the Virgin Islands, I don't know, I'm just gonna put a number, is 2 people, let's say. That's the household average size. So I come up with a package of, I don't know, cilantro. So I'm gonna sell my cilantro in a package of 5 pounds. Do you think a household of 2 people are gonna buy 5 pounds of cilantro? I mean, 5 pounds of cilantro is a lot. Unless you use it for dips and cook a lot. I mean, everything you have in your kitchen, 5 pounds, it's a lot. Usually in the grocery store, they say you like a quarter of a pound, and that's a lot also. So you have to base the size of your product and your packaging to the demographics. Um, idea to reach people like social media is the trendy. Radio, TV, internet. Um, Social media is one of the best ways to sell your products, especially if you're a small farmer, small business. So, I mean, use social media, especially for the younger generations. Instagram, if you want to do it for older generations, use Facebook. I mean, every generation uses specific social media. Um, are there substitute to your products? And if not, what's the nearest substitute? And what are their prices? So I have 30 minutes. Hopefully I'll finish the marketing, because at least marketing, because financial, I can give financial um plan later on, but it's gonna be there in the presentation. But I want to make sure, because I want to make sure you understand marketing, because it's marketing is where or what you have to do to get higher prices for your products, even though they can be the same as somebody else. So it's in your marketing strategies where you can, get higher prices. So I want to discuss this. Although there's gonna be two classes in marketing plan and marketing mix, like 3 hours just for that. What I'm covering is, basic knowledge, but Dr. Tatiana Mendez is going to offer them in September. So we're going to write you with the promotional material and an email you how to enroll into it. So this is going to be in September. So she's going to cover it, but I'm going to cover just a little bit, a fraction of what she's going to cover in those two classes of an hour and a half. So the marketing mix, it's represented by the 4 P's. There's more other P's, but this is the 4 P's are the general ones. There are other P's, but the 4 P's are the essential: product, price, promotion, and place. And place is um related to distribution. So marketing plan, you have your product. So when you write your marketing plan, you have to describe the physical features of your product. What are the characteristics of your product? Um, Place photos and images of your product. When you write your marketing plan, pictures talk more than words, you know. Um, what benefits it gives the consumers. Um, so basically I'm gonna produce bananas, papayas, and watermelons. It's a fruit business. It's a fruit farm. And what's the benefit? I mean, the USDA says that each person should eat at least 4 portions of fruit, and every other person says, like all nutritionists says, you don't only have to eat it, you have to eat fruits if you want to lose weight also. If you exercise, eat fruits. It look for those benefits of your products. There's a lot of benefits for products we produce. Um, Outgoing attributes of your product, grading, it's important. Grading is, you have to make sure that if there's a system of grading for your product, that you want to be part of the grading. Like eggs have to be, they are graded, milk is graded. There are products that by law they need to be graded. And the grades basically determine the quality. If there's no grading, they're fine. I mean, but you can start grading yourself, your products, basically. Um, so set your plantains in by size, maybe. Larger plantains, put them together, smaller plantains, put them together. If they're ripe, put them together. Because plantains is one thing. I don't know if you eat them ripe over there. But people here have a preference. Some people like them very, very green, like basically fresh off the plantain plant. And some people like them very ripe, uh almost at the point that is there's like a line between rotting um and being ripe. So a lot of people, I like it that way because it makes it is sweeter that way. But anyways, so right before the fruit flies comes in, basically, it's like what we say. Um, so brand brand. Do I have a brand? Do I have a name? Do I have a logo? Do I have a design? I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this because it's not as hard as it used to be. What type of packaging do you use? Is it different from everybody else? Um, is it my packaging ideal because it extend the shelving life? Do I use GAP, good agricultural price practices that make sure my product stays longer in the shelf? Um, what is the size for the sale? I mean, if you choose the size, make sure it goes along with the demographics of the location you're selling. So if the average household is 2 people, make a size, for 2 people. If the household size is 5 people, I mean, you can have different ones, like the larger size and the smaller size. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You can have two sizes. Um, and if you can find alternative use for your product, that is ideal. Packaging, what I'm saying to my farmers here is, um, if you can start training yourself about how to can your products, start doing it, because with all these emergencies and hurricanes, um basically hurricanes, we look for cans, canned food. So, you know, start preparing yourself to do that because I believe this is not gonna stop. I mean, we're gonna basically we're gonna keep with these hurricanes coming in more often. So packaging and in cans can be one way you can sell your product. Um, you don't have to put can all of your production, but you mean maybe during one season, like right your production right before the hurricane season starts, you can start canning your products. So, but to do that, you have to have permits, you have to have knowledge in canning, I mean, or packaging in some way that extend the shelf life. If it's fruits, I mean, you can dry, you know, the dry fruits are it's a very good market right now. So basically, for all the products you sell, write the product and then what are the main characteristics of it? So plantains, what are the characteristics? What's the variety of your plantains? Do you sell them ripe? Do you sell them green? Do you sell them both ways? Do you sell them in boxes or do you sell them in any other form? Do you sell them like frozen, vacuum sealed, in cans? So as I mentioned, I mean, you can create logos and there are ways, easy ways to create it. ChatGPT is one of them. Um, Canva is like a website. It gives you a lot of ideas. You said, oh, I want to develop a logo, and it gives you ideas. And then you can bring images or icons that you want to use for it, but it will give you an idea how to do it. ChatGPT using IA is very good. Canva has a although you can do it yourself with the ideas they gave you. They also have like AI you can use. Um, but the AI is mostly for the people who pay um for the subscription. So basically, if you go to ChatGPT, so I said to ChatGPT, I have a small farm in the US Virgin Islands that produce plantain, bananas, cassava, and yams. It's the same example I used on Monday. Can you help me develop a logo? So ChatGPT said to get started, could you share the name of your farm? Uh, uh, whether you prefer blah blah blah, color for tropical west, and then it said yes, please because I didn't read it. I just said like, oh yeah, give me the logo, you know. But it says perfect. Thanks for confirming before I generate some logo options for you. Will you tell me your farm name? And then I said, oh, I don't have a name. So it tells me, no worries, we can create both a name and a logo concept together. So here are some farm name ideas. So it gave me, based on what I said, some name ideas for the farm. Even you don't have to, I mean, um, if you don't have a name for your farm, I mean, ChatGPT will give you a name if you know, um, ask for a name idea, or you can combine from those ideas. It gives you can combine words and into the name you actually want. I do like the first one actually, Island Roots Farm for some reason. I mean, I don't know if it's used in the Virgin Islands. If not, I mean, it's I thought it was a very good name. So they're all good names. but I think I like this one, Island Roots Farm. So when I said, oh yes, I the name of my farm is gonna be Island Root Farms, I selected that, create the logo, and this is the logo it created. So I actually like it. It has the plantain, the bananas, the cassava, and the yams, and the the ocean and the sun. So I thought it was created, and then I was like, oh, so I created the logo, and later on I said, oh, can you uh generate a slogan for the farm? And it's, I don't know, it's not, it's supposed to be after this. um so let me, oh, here it is. So I think I placed the slide in where it's not, it doesn't belong, but anyways. So um so I said, so create me a slogan ideas, and it gave me a lot of ideas. I actually like this one, rooted in the Virgin Islands, because you have roots over there. So I thought it was a nice slogan. So, and I was like, oh, incorporate the slogan into the logo it created. It changed the logo a little bit, but I still like it. I mean, it gave me Island Root Farms rooted in the Virgin Islands. I thought it was, all logos are neat. If not, if you like the first one, just add the slogan and the name of the farm into it. But you can do that in Canva also. So I mean, you can ask ChatGPT if you don't want this background color. You can say, "Hey, can you change the background color to black or green?" It will change it. So um, yeah, ChatGPT, it can help you develop a few business uh parts, especially marketing. So I went back into price. I can talk about prices. I mean, price selection, you have to and this price strategy, you have to work a lot, because first you have to know your costs, your unit cost. And then from there, you have to know your consumers, how much you're selling, because you want to know your profits as well, and what type of product are you going to add value into it. Adding value can be just washing the product and put it in a small, a package, a convenient package, or in a box, or it doesn't have to be processed. It can be, add value. You can just make uh sell it in a package. Um, so for the strategies for price, you have to look for the competition price, and based on the competition price and your unit cost and your packaging, if it's the different and yours have a shelf life longer than the competition, you can charge more. If it's less, you should charge less. So it's you have to balance, and compare your product with the competition, and how much is my markup, how much is going to be my markup, um, you know, what is my profit level on my business. Um, Terms of sale, discount, premium price, if there's a premium price for it, but you have to make sure is your product has the best quality in the market. Um, and I can charge higher prices above the competition if I if not, if I just say my product is better, but make sure your product is better. Um So in price, you can basically write a small, this small, complete this small table. You have to write the product, characteristics, the retail. You can sell the same product in different prices. So you can have one price for retail, one price for wholesale, um, or one price for the distributor also. There's a typo over there in price. Let me just fix it now. Um, Also, no, I'll fix it later. Yes, I have 10 minutes. Include pictures of your products. As I said, pictures are um talk more than words. So include pictures of your products. I mean, a nice picture. Put it, I mean, just don't take a picture on a table. Just put it in a nice basket, if you're selling because like roots, make sure they're clean. Although people who knows agriculture, and this is an experiment I always do in my classroom. So I always ask my students, um, especially when I have different students. So will you guys buy some roots with dirt on them? The yucca and cassava, if they have soil and dirt all over them. And only the students that go to the ag sciences say yes, and the rest says no. And I was like, well, you know, dirt in the roots mean freshness. So that's why the guys from the ag sciences says yeah to buying those products with soil on them. So for us that means freshness. For them it means dirt. They're dirty. So make sure you know uh your customers, their background. um Promotion, and there's many ways you can promote. Social media, um it's the best one, but you have to start your social media, your Instagram, your Facebook. I mean, you don't have to use all of them, at least the basic ones. um because you want to differentiate. Make sure on your Instagram, um put videos of your farm, how you grow your, on the steps, how you grow your products. Like, people appreciate seeing the videos and how nice is the farm, and the practices you use. The people want to know what you do as a farmer. So make sure you can do that on the social media. um um Also, in the promotion, do flyers when you're about to sell, promotions, sales strategies. uh Basically, um Costco, I don't know if you have a Costco there, but Sam's also do it. I don't know if you have Sam's over there. um I want to say yes, but I don't know. So Costco and Sam's, this is my one of my favorite strategies they use. So basically, when they bring a new product, especially for food, um, they they go 1 day or 2 days and they start giving samples. And then some people buy it, some people don't. And then they just do it a few times. They don't have to do it every day for a month or 2 months. They just do it a few times. And then me personally, I do it. I was like, is can this product be good? And some people are like, yeah, they gave us samples the other day and it's great. So you don't have to give samples all the time. So That's for me, that's one of the best strategies there is. Social media, flyers, um, how do you use the product? How do you cook the product? How you peel the product? I mean, those things you through social media, and again, insert pictures, insert videos, um, or video links into your marketing plan. Place has to be with distribution and transportation, and make sure you include how you manage your products. It's not the same, harvesting your products and leave it in a place that rats can get to it, that roaches can get to it. So make sure you have manage your your products the best way. Put it, I mean, uh, put it in a refrigerator, in a walk-in cooler. Especially here and over there, heat can spoil the products very, very quick. So if you put it in a walk-in cooler or in a refrigerator, you extend that shelf life. So and in make sure you write a detailed description of the how you are going to distribute your product. And if you hire somebody, I mean, there's no shame in it. I mean, if you hire somebody, make sure you put their name and how reliable they are, so on. In place, you also want to stay what is the percent, the which on each product, how much goes to retail, how much goes to wholesale, and how much goes to distributor. And each price, if you have different prices for each one of them, just write it there, because this is your business plan, and you can sell the same product at different prices. So also in place, make sure you write in the buildings and machinery and equipment you have for the processing area, packaging area, walk-in coolers, if you have any refrigerators, waiting stations or devices you have. I mean, make a description of them. Um, Also write personnel that you have in the processing area and the functions, what do they do, and the number of employees by per people. People who work in the processing area, packaging, walk-in coolers, who's in charge of waiting, and who's in charge of transportation. So include always long-term projections and divide project in stages, and always present your findings. So do research. You have to look for information. Gross agricultural income or gross farm income. If I don't know if your local Department of Agriculture have the statistics. Uh, if the government has an economic development plan for the agriculture sector, I mean, just make sure you cite um, that plan. Enterprise budgets. Um, if you are a new farmer, or make sure you get enterprise budgets. Local and national production data. You can get, I mean, the US Virgin Island has a census, ag census made by the USDA. So this is the link to go into the ag census website. And enterprise budgets, there's a few, and I believe I talked about them. Financial information budgets, enterprise budget, productions and sale records, which I gave 2 weeks ago. Cash flow, income statement. It's not income and expense. I didn't either for animals and crops, inventory, and this is the balance sheet, not the statement of financial position. It should be balance sheet. So break-even analysis, minimum production, profit per unit, payroll, and salaries. So the enterprise budgets are very important. They're used to identify companies with the greatest profit opportunities. So it's a planning tool that you can see the income and costs of producing a ag product in a single production cycle. It's and usually they're per acre. And these enterprise budgets need to be adjusted, depending on the characteristics um of the farm. So basically, we have here enterprise budgets, and for all of these, it's in the presentation. We have for plantains, cassava, yams, sweet potatoes, and other. So it is for Puerto Rico. They're in Spanish, but we're using AI. You can translate anything now. So, um, I may, if there's a grant later on, I might ask for a grant so we can translate them. Um, Always seek for customers and make sure you place that um in your business plan and marketing plan. Don't wait for the same day to sell your product. Plan the sales, plan the production. Make sure you have production. If you can, there's products you cannot plan your production so you can have products during the whole year. Thus, you're gonna have income the whole year. So you can write a letter of intent and always include those letter of intents in the business plan. This is in English and Spanish, so um a letter of intent of if people are, it's not a contract per se, it's just that they're willing to buy from you well when you start producing and have that letter of intent and all the information needed in case you need it to get a loan. So basically I don't have more time, um but my presentation is long and I knew it was long, but basically, it has the definition of each of the accounting records. Hopefully by October and November, I can offer you these trainings so you can prepare them. I actually got approved this week the a no-cost extension so I can actually continue the one of my projects, and I justified that I wanted to teach you guys on how to keep accounting records for a farm. So basically that'll be it because I have no more time. Do you have any questions? One more thing, supporting documents. Look at the list because it's very, very important. You always add those supporting documents into your business plan, especially tax returns and everything that makes your business legal, like your copy of your legal ownership, certificate of incorporation, corporate resolutions, location, a map, your resume and your employees' resumes, etc. So the list is there. So it's very important to include supporting documents into the business plan. So do you have any questions? The presentation is um it's on the website right now. Glenda, do you want to take a picture? Glenda, can you guys turn on your camera so we can take a picture as evidence that we offer the training and you were, thank you. Glenda, about the AI, it's like one of my colleagues who was my student. She's into AI and she was telling me, I was like, yeah, I know. And she's like, you should tell the farmers. I was like, okay, I'll tell them. So it's not my idea. It's Dr. Mendez who ideas was to start teaching people how to use AI and especially for marketing. So, Glenda, ¿estás ahí?
Sí, estoy aquí.
Ah, pues para que saques la foto.
Vamos a la foto. Dame un segundo, es que mi... Baja un poquito el TV. Gracias. Vamos ahora a la foto. Voy a apagar la grabación. Estoy ronca.